one of the questions we get a lot is how can I boost the production value of my church? And very simple answer, I'm gonna give it to you right now. And one of the most simplest ways, and we have some things in the description below to help you out, but one of the most simplest ways you can do it is, number one, is the audio. You have to understand, it's great, the HD camera, it's great filming it, it's great all those things, but if you sound like you're watching a recording of something, people don't really like that. When you go to the movies, you want to watch a movie that makes you feel like you're in the movie. You hear the sounds, you hear all that, you feel like you're there. You're not watching the recording of the movie. I don't know if you guys can remember back in the day, they used to sell bootleg DVDs out the back of a truck. Like for $5, you can get this movie that's in the cinema right now. It was like you open the trunk, they got every movie you could think of. And some of them were horrible. They were horrible film quality. Now, you're not supposed to do it, I understand it. But people used to do it. People still do it to this day. But the quality was horrible. And it was just like, I remember being a kid having it and just being like, okay, I'm not even gonna watch. I don't even wanna watch the movie. It's a movie that I wanna watch, but I'm not even gonna watch it because the quality is so horrible. I can't hear anything, it sounds muffled, the camera's shaking. All these made the production value of something that was produced beautifully, hundreds of millions of dollars to produce it, and yet it goes, no one wants to see it. So we need to get the audio, number one. It is the number one thing is the audio, if I can say it. From watching different sermons, it's audio. Because no matter how bad the video or how far away the pastor is when they're zoomed out, or the person who's giving their talk, the audio is usually really great because they're recording it inside the camera itself. So you're watching it, they're not recording it from the speaker. Look at a TD Jakes, he's a great example because he had audio back up until like 11 years ago. You could watch, that's the first I've gone back, but 11 years watching his sermons and I can understand everything. The production value was very high. And I know a lot of churches, you probably don't have that budget. So simple thing you can do is a clip. I have a mic on right now. I don't remember what I paid for it. It's just a clip-on mic. It plugs straight into my phone and it records the audio very clearly. Now, if you're on a budget, you can get a wireless mic. I recommend a wireless, that way you don't have any cords. You have a wireless mic that you've tested and you understand how it works. You see the green light on the receiver and you see the green light on that, okay, we're good. And you record it, and you record it on your phone. Simple production value off of things that you already have. Not just recording it using the outside speakers of your phone, because you're not getting that speaker's voice coming through. What you're getting is it's picking up the sounds of the speakers in the area, and now it's trying to put that through your speakers and then filter it to the people who are listening. It doesn't sound very professional. This right now sounds pretty professional. You wouldn't probably, and these aren't even my best mics. I have wireless mics that I use. I actually use the brand Synco, I believe. It's SYNCO, but Rode Mic makes a beautiful one as well. Batteries last about 3 to 4 hours. It comes with 2 receivers, the ones that I have. Work perfectly fine and boost the quality amazing because people can hear what you're saying. Most of the time, if you really think about it, people don't actually really watch videos. They have them playing in the background. So most of the time, they're going to have your sermon, your talk, the person who's giving their speech, they're going to have it playing in the background and listening to it. And if the quality sounds so horrible, it sounds like, what am I listening to? People just go to something else. And they miss the powerful message that you have. So that will be number one. Number two is if you look at a speaker giving a talk, most of the time they have multiple camera angles, number one. But if they don't have multiple camera angles, then oftentimes the angle that they choose to use for their camera is zoomed in on the person who's speaking. Usually cut off right at the belly button and up. Not too much space above the head. Very classic, something simple you can do. I mean, I don't get irritated of people who record like this, but we do help them to shift that really quickly, because so many people record of someone just has a camera in the back of the church and they're recording everything in front. Person's walking in front of the screen, can't hear the audio so well, and you're just like, what is going on here? That stuff matters in the online space, because you got to understand, and this is some extra, probably super value for you, it truly matters. Like, it truly matters. It truly matters 100% more than you guys can realize. It truly matters because people will go to something that's higher quality without a great message just because we're used to quality. And you have to understand, and this is what we talk about in our program, and if we do an audit, we'll definitely address this issue, is the fact that, actually it slipped my mind, so it'll come back to me in a second. But you want to make sure that the quality is up to par. That's basically, long story short. You want your quality to be up to par, because if it's not, people will just click out for another one. It's that simple. So one of the things that I say, number one, is the audio. Make sure you have the audio going. Number two is just have something zoomed in and cropped. If your pastor walks around, if the leader is moving around, maybe you need someone to film that. Or if anything, zoom out to where all the spaces that they walk, so you have it all covered. But more importantly, if you remembered number one and you got the audio, you're going to be okay. We want to keep the high quality. We want the quality. People want quality nowadays. And if they don't have it, they'll miss out on a beautiful message. We'll talk about the titles and all that stuff later, but let's get the quality right. I recommend everyone, now I'll give you this piece of advice, I can't remember what the other one was I was going to say, was people who are just starting out, I say just use an iPhone. It's the simplest thing with the greatest quality. Use an iPhone with an external mic and have that be the church's phone. Don't even stream it, stream it on someone else's phone. Get the high quality version first. We get so caught up in we got to catch, that's what I was going to say. What I was going to say was, one of the things we talked about in the program was, you're talking to strangers, okay? This is a different mentality, because most of the time when you're posting content, you're creating content, you think of, this is for the members of my church. This is for brother such and such. This is for sister such and such. This is for the person who I knew before who's coming to church, who missed Sunday. I know they were here. No, you have to think about, you're in the online space now. It's vast. There's going to be people who have never heard of you, who the sermon you preach is going to be the first one that they hear. That the first version that they see of you, the first thing that they know about you, is going to be some random thing that pops up in their feed, and they click it and they watch you. So quality matters. Quality doesn't matter to sister such and such and brother such and such, because they know you, they love you, they trust you, they come to every service. They know what it feels like. But for someone who's new there, they don't. They want quality. They want to hear audio. If you have to choose one, the audio, I would say, is the more important than anything else that you do. So get that right and get your message out there. Schedule an audit with us. We love helping. I love getting people's churches in the online space. We have programs. We have the flagship program that helps people. But more importantly, we can audit you and let you know kind of what the problem is, And oftentimes, probably the most famous one is that there is no production value. There's just someone filming in the back, vertically. And it's just like, oh gosh, we have a lot to do. So with that being said, get your message out there. Book a call with us. We're standing by, and we love to help you out. And with that being said, get your message out there to the world.